reflections that lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Who's got the cutest eyes? Who's got what satisfies the who? You, that's who. Who would I love to pet? Who is so hard to get? Who? You, that's who. Who's positively just as sweet as can be? Who's absolutely made to order for me? Gee, who have I got to win? Who simply must give in? Who? You, that's who.
Well, a good freezing afternoon, everyone. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop, and I'm back inside of the kitchen for another Kitchen Counter Thrift Haul. Now, I'm going to tell you about everything that you see in front of you. I need some help, and so I've got a question to throw out there at the very end of the video. And so I hope you'll stay tuned for that, because I do need your help. I'm going to say thank you to a few subscribers who helped me identify some things, and then we're going to talk about all these lovely antiques and collectibles that you see before you. But of course, as always, before we begin, today's cup of coffee is brought to you by
A cup of coffee, a sandwich, and you, a cozy corner, a table for two.
Well, one of my favorite patterns by the L.E. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not L.E. Smith. This is Central Glass. And there's just a number. I don't remember the number. I don't have it memorized, but there's a pattern number for this. Black glass square with little cut-off corners, so popular in the 1930s. We'll slide this out of the way. I hope you guys are enjoying something hot this afternoon. If you're anywhere stuck in this freezing cold, snowy pattern that so much of us seem to be in right now. Thank you to a couple of subscribers who helped me identify this as Jefferson glass. It's called, oh, I don't remember, Petal and Bead or something like that. I have it listed in my auction in the description. And if anybody wants to know, in case you're new, where I sell all of these things, you can find them in my eBay store, Scott's Old Curiosity Shop. There's no apostrophe in Scott's, it's all one word. But you can also just find the link always in the description box below each video. Just click on it, and you'll go right to the store. You can see better pictures, dimensions, and full descriptions. Dating just after the turn of the century, but before the 20s, about 1906, 7, 10, 12, something like that. Little candy dish, bonbon dish, what have you, in opalescent, with a nice ruffled edge there. Pressed glass, that's a pretty piece, which is well over 100 years old. And while we're talking about beautiful art glass, let's look at the green and the pink. Now, the birds you saw. And I also want to thank another subscriber who said you might want to check Walter and Son, or if we want to do the German pronunciation, Walter und Sonne. That's probably who made this, and they were right, and I should have known because I've had this piece by Walter and Son, same German maker of art glass, both satin glass pieces. Walter and Sonne and Son, oh, 1888, I think they got started, maybe somewhere like in Dresden, in the Dresden area. And one of those companies that did business for quite some time and then became nationalized, I guess, right after the war. Names changed, but no, this is going to be from their classic 1930s era. That piece right there dates to about 1935. It's a beautiful satin glass vase. And, yeah, it'll glow when you put the black light on it, of course. And it's just gorgeous. It is smooth, smooth, smooth as a kitten's ear, I've said before. Beautiful piece of satin glass, and as part of their Masterpiece series. And that shows up in their 1935 catalog. This is from about the same time, the Flower Frog with either the swallows or the lovebirds. The pair of them here sitting on these wonderful stylized Art Deco rocks. There's another bird down there. You can really see how deco they've done the rocks. And figurative. These are made in the US as well. We often see nude women, Bashful Charlotte, September Morn, that kind of thing. But there are many animals as well. I believe this also came in blue. So the top piece here is in excellent condition with no problems at all. A couple flea bites on the bottom. That one doesn't really show up as too badly when you put the top in place. And then there's one more, appears to be one more you can see right there. Okay, put that back in place. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. And then out front we have two depression pieces you've seen. I still haven't bothered really to go through my books to see who made either one of these. But they're going to date around 1930, late 20s, 1930, 1935. This one is exceptionally well done, this tidbit tray. It's one of the first that I've seen that's actually cut on the bottom. So you get this faceted look when you view it from the top. I don't know if you can see. So a lot of extra work done on this because that's all cut out there on the underside. Paint is always on the underside, and then we see these hand-painted gold lines on the top of it with the sort of the loop handle. Now sometimes these, today we just say tidbit tray, but sometimes when you look at the old advertisements, they did often refer to these as cracker servers. Yeah. So let's not get hung up on nomenclature. Crackers, cucumber sandwiches, pepperonis, you put up whatever you'd like on there and serve it in style. And again, this is 1930s glass. And I love that color. Here's another one over here, not quite the same color blue, a little bit lighter in color. This one's well done too. It's a cracker set, cheese and cracker set. And these are always split up, yeah? You know, one will get broken or this will wind up in the back of the cabinet and the plate gets separated. And when you see these dinner plates like this with the impression in the bottom, you know you're not going to be serving food on that for dinner, but that it was meant to hold the little the cheese compote. So again, this is cold paint that's, well, it's not cold paint, it is a baked on paint that holds up pretty well. And this one has this wonderful applied decoration on it, which is is three-dimensional. I can't seem to be focusing today, so we're not going to worry about that again. I'll just leave that like that. Cheese and cracker set. I love these. Never seen this one before. And the two pieces together for all these years, amazing. Someone did ask me, would I sell this little Spode cup and saucer? And I will. I guess it's a little demi-tasse. Well, you've seen this before. I'll let you see it again quickly. There we are. Made in England, Copeland Spode. There's no damage on this at all. And as you can see, in really nice shape. With the tray. Oh, I'm sorry, with the saucer as well. I am way behind on my emails, so I really am going to try to get caught up with that and let the person know that I have decided to go ahead and throw it up online as an auction. You saw the Sebring Hollywood American Limoges. As Art Deco as it gets, cream and sugar. See the bottom, Triumph American Limoges, Sebring, made in Ohio. So they've got a lot of information on there. And we can tell by the design that this is definitely out of the 1930s. There's no mistaking it. Little crazing on the glaze, no chips, no cracks. Old Pyrex back there from the 1930s. You're going to get that yellowish tint. And we talked about this before. Many of you thought that it was charming, and I'm going to agree with you that there's all of that wear on the inside. Now that's not dirt, that's, you know, I washed this several times. Those are all the scrapings of the metal spoons and whatnot that have been digging sweet potato casserole out of the depths of this thing. If it could only talk, can you imagine how many wonderful dinners and what was served? You really see it when it's out, but when it's in its wonderful chrome carrying case here and filled with Grandma's tuna noodle casserole, you never see it. It's 9 inches from here to here. It's a little one. So you bake in here, throw it in this, bring it right out to the table, and you eat in style. Here's a wonderful set of candlesticks with prisms on there. And here's a wonderful pair of candlesticks made of crystal with the glass prisms on here. And the fancy part in the middle looks like the letter S, but I have them backwards. So let me at least turn one around. In case your last name happens to be Smith or Snickerdoodle, it looks like the letter S, that fancy. See there in the middle? Alright, so we have 2. I don't know who made them. I don't have a book on candlesticks, and sometimes if they're not etched, I am not sure who the maker is. And so these are all one piece. Often this is a get up there. Often this is a separate piece, but it's all one piece intact. And all the prisms are there. Now what I will tell you is, and a lot of people know this, over the year a prism will fall off and get lost and people will replace them. We can see here as an example, the one on the left is a little skinnier, just a little bit, than the one on the right. But it's cut the same way, the facets are the same, it's the same length. Nobody is going to notice that except perhaps your very fussy, picky Aunt Esmeralda. She's going to notice and point it out, but oh well, she'll just have to, you know, get over it. You also once in a while get just the tip broken off here, and we'll see that on a few of these. This one appears to be the one that has the biggest piece out of just the tip of it. And if that bothers you, you can replace those without too much trouble. They're really pretty. There's another piece in Art Deco back there. It's a casserole dish, and I'm not going to pull it out of there, but you just see how beautiful it is. It's got a wonderful Art Deco pattern on it. Well, let's pull it out. Why not? Alright, let's put this down here. We can see it a little bit better. The pattern on here is called Marybelle, and we'll see a lot of information. It looks very impressive. And that's going to tell us there that it's the Brotherhood of a cooperative. Wait a minute. I want you to see it. Brotherhood of Operative Potteries. And this had something to do, now this was made in Ohio, and from what I remember, the reading that I did, well, of course, there was a lot of labor unrest and a lot of union organizing and so forth in the 1930s. I think a lot of folks are familiar with that history. And a lot of the potteries were in the Trenton, New Jersey area, but it did shift to the Ohio River Valley. I guess that's what it's called. And that has something to do with unions and whatnot. You can read all about it. It's an interesting history, and it's available for you. But that piece is nice, and it doesn't have any damage on it either. Really nice. 2 Sheffield plate candlesticks. I think I showed those to you a little while ago. I am trying to make some space here. These are American made, and I believe this is usually Sheffield, I think is copper, silver plate over top of copper. And we can see here someone has polished this a little more aggressively, and I believe we see a little copper coming through there on the base of that one. They probably date to 1920 and they're American made. The only thing I haven't listed yet are the silver plated Meridian coffee pot and teapot, because we have some initials on there and I want you to fight over the initials and tell me what you think it says. Made in Connecticut. This is by the Meridian B Company. It's beautiful silver plate. They did great work in Meridian, Connecticut, this particular company. These are in great shape. We have we have 2 pots here, a coffee and a tea. They're, as I said, in wonderful condition. We're going to see the Meridian B mark way up inside like that. And when we look at them this way, we see that we have initials, but we don't have initials on the back, on the opposite side. We have a completely different pattern. So, if you like these, maybe you don't want to use them, but you want to display them, and you don't like the initials, you could turn it this way and nobody would know. I'll let you see how pretty it is. Look at the work on that. You gonna focus? My bumblebee outfit that I have on is showing up and sort of a little distracting, I think. Turn it back around. I haven't listed these yet. I'm going to, but I want you guys to give me your opinions on the initials. All right, there they are. What is it? Is it CL? CS? Let me try to get to a different angle. I'll zoom in on it. There we are. All right, study that. I know my cell phone is in the way. What does it look like? What do you thought? Hold still. Hold the thing still. Okay, I'm going to let you guys decide because I just don't know what it is. Well, that's it, everyone. I want to thank you all for watching. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop saying thanks for watching and so long for now.